Hey guys, and welcome to another Challenger Stash YouTube Hop. We have 3 new members joining us this time, so joining us from now on. So be sure to check them out as well as everybody else, of course. So because it's May and it's spring, we thought we would use some flowers in our layout. So I've chosen my floral paper pads here that I'm going to try to use. So in this folder, I have 2 of these paper pads, which are just from Jumbo here in Cyprus, and there's just a bunch of different florals in here, but they're not really fussy cutty. They're sort of like very small degree. Well, maybe these I could fussy cut if I really wanted to, but yeah. So I had 2 of those. So one is mostly scraps, and then I have some of that. And then this is more florals, which you saw me use in last month's Challenger Stash when I made this layout here. So here are these. So I've used florals in the past couple of my videos for this challenge, but for this one the challenge was to use a tic-tac-toe board and just happened to be flowers. But this one I'm using flowers specifically. So these are the 2 floral elements I pulled. And then I also want to use this stack because I just wanted to get out of my room, and I've had it for ever since I started scrapbooking. It was my first paper, and there's just so much left, it's not running out. So I'm trying to work my way through this. So I'm going to put you on fast forward now and get started. So I have decided that I'm going to fussy cut a bunch of all of these flowers to create a wreath on my layout. So I've already fussy cut some up there, and I'm just not going to show you the whole process of fussy cutting because it took me an hour and a half. So I'm cutting 3 full sheets, I think, 1 of each. So I'm starting off with this one that has the purple flowers, and I'm also cutting the tiny ones and the ones that are half. And I'm separating them in piles because I'm planning to make the wreath with the full ones and then use the other stuff to fill in the gaps. So I'm also using this stupid scissors that the handle is broken. So when I was cutting, the handle part that was broken would like cut my finger, my thumb, and the next day it was just bad. But I couldn't find my other scissors that are properly working, so I just dealt with it. And then I did find them at some point, but I don't remember if I found them in time for this layout. So I'm also cutting these birds, and I love these birds. They're so gorgeous. So this took quite a long time, and I never take such a long time on one aspect of a layout, but I really like how it turned out. I don't think I'll ever do it again, or at least I won't do it in a long time, because that's a bit more fussy cutting than I can handle for once. So we'll see if I ever do that again. So I'm still cutting out stuff. So there's birds, I'm cutting some purple flowers, and then the rest are pink, but they're different styles. So the one is like a daisy, and then the other one is more like a rose type thing. So yeah, I'm gonna cut that whole sheet there, and then I'm also gonna cut another one, and then I'm also gonna cut a whole sheet of those blue flowers, which you'll see later on. So I didn't leave all of the fussy cutting out, but I left in quite a bit because it's basically the largest part of my layout. So yeah, it's coming to an end here in just a second, I promise. So I decided to do some mixed media. I have all the flowers cut, and I'm starting just using some gesso and rubbing it on with my finger, but then I decide I'm just not in the mood to use my finger, and I just find this palette knife, which isn't the one I normally use. So it wasn't working all that well, so I was using both that and my finger. So as I said, don't forget to stop by all the other lovely ladies' videos. We've had, I think, 4 new members now when I'm doing the voiceover, so that's really exciting. So make sure I'll have all the links in the description below. Make sure to stop by all of those. And now I decided I'm going to do the packaging techniques. So I'm taking some blues here, and I'm just applying the color on with my water brush, and then I'm adding more water. And the gesso was still kind of wet at the moment, so the plastic got stuck in the page because I was just too impatient. So I was trying to make like a circle, but that's not going to work. I'm just going to cover the whole page and just a bit because the packaging I used was really big. And I do really like though how the whole page is covered in the end. And then I'm using some green and I'm dabbing it right onto the page because the packaging is just annoying me at this moment. And then I'm using that other packaging piece to rub it around on my brush, and I don't know why I did that, but I just did. And then I'm gonna add some yellow, or at least try to, because the green isn't dry yet. It's gonna mix and it's gonna become green again, but that's what it is. I was just way too impatient after cutting all those flowers out. But I do really like how the end result looks. So now I'm starting to assemble my wreath, and I'm just using those big floral purple pieces as a base. So I have 4 of those, so I'm just spreading them around, and then I'm adding more of the other flowers, and I'm trying to add the same flowers in all the clusters and to have a nice mix of types and color and stuff like that. So I started with a small wreath, but it was too small because I wanted the picture to go in the center, and it was probably going to be a 4x6. So I'm just spreading it out a bit, and I'm gonna come back in and add some more flowers since it has to become bigger. And I do have some left even. It's mostly blue ones that I have left, but yeah, I think I just threw them in some bags somewhere. I probably won't ever find them again, but I don't really care. So yeah, I'm still fidgeting with how I want to place these because there's some places that are way too full and some that are way too empty. So I'm just trying not to fuss too much about that though, because I know I'm gonna come back in with other stuff to fill in those gaps. So now I used the big flowers, and I'm just coming in with some of the smaller flowers, and now I'm starting to glue everything down with a Yoo-hoo twist and glue because the ATG is not going to work on those small pieces. And I wasn't in the mood to use the glue pen, so I'm just using this because it's also a mixed media, so I know it's going to stick. So I edited out quite a bit of the gluing process of the main flowers, but now I'm going to add those tiny bits and pieces in where there's gaps, just to fill in the blanks. And I am spreading them throughout the wreath. So I have two types of those flowers. I have the ones that are two together, and then I have the ones that are daisies by themselves. And they want different sheets of paper, so that's why they're different. And yeah, I'm just going through the flowers, and I'm gonna add the birds. I love those birds. So I'm adding a bird near all of those purple flowers, but I had one extra, I think, and I did not want to throw it out because I just loved it too much, so I'm gonna glue down 7 birds. I had a couple of extras, so there's not one on each purple cluster, but there's one, I don't know, it's just they're evenly spaced out. So I seem to have disappeared here for a second. Yeah, here I am. I don't know what I was doing. So I went and got some embellishments that I thought might work. So I'm using these hearts, and I'm just layering them in the wreaths. And I only had 2 of those left, but I had these circle stickers that have the same patterns. So I'm layering some of those in throughout the page. And I'm trying to have an even amount of stickers on the outside of the wreath and the inside of the wreath, if that makes sense. Yeah, I still don't know why I keep doing that, but yeah. So more flowers, and then I had these flowers, just lots and lots of flowers. So I decided to use them, and they're rose gold, not rose gold, they're a pink metallic. I'm just adding one here and there. Again, I'm trying to evenly space them out between the outside of the circle and the inside part of the circle. And I'm just using the smaller ones. And then I'm going to pull in these rhinestones from Tiger, and I'm going to use all the colors on there because they all match. and I'm spacing them like in a zigzag form. So there's one on the inside, one on the outside, one on the inside, one on the outside of the wreath. So I think that's pretty visible if you look at it once I've mentioned it now. And I'm using purple, pink, that bold green, which I really love, and stuff like that. So then I'm going to try and find a picture. So I pulled out my Rome album, but nothing was standing out. Well, that picture was, but I don't know, it just wasn't really my favorite. And I was just thinking if I liked that or not while I went through another my regular photos, and I found this picture from quite a long time ago, like maybe 10 years ago, and I really like that a lot better. So that's a picture of me when I was about 5, and then my little sister when she was about 3, I guess. If I was 5, she was 3, but yes. So I just stuck that there, and now I'm still working on the wreath. So I'm taking these Tim Holtz Chit Chat word stickers in white, and I'm just adding one here and there throughout the wreath. And I'm sorry, I can't really see what they say, but I think it's together, smile, memories, and I don't know what the 4th one is. So now I'm thinking what I want to do about this picture. Do I want to layer it behind something or not? And I decided not to. It just looks too perfect like that. And then I wanted to add the title right under that, right under the picture. So I started with using these this hello word, and that's from a sticker set from Bershka, which is a clothes shop. And they're not really good quality, but they're good enough. And then here I decided that I didn't like the black, so I took out this chipboard piece from the Mambi chips, which is from Me and My Big Ideas, like the family waterfall chipboard set. And I decided I'm going to use that as my title. So, well, I haven't decided that yet, but that's the one I'm going to use. I'm still going back and forth, because I really like how the letters, the script font layers on the picture, but the black wasn't working for me. So I decided to use this family, and that's like a sort of copper glitter. And then the family part came with the I love my, so I'm just trying to incorporate that, and it's just going to stay right there. And then I'm going to add my journaling using my pigment liner from Staedtler, and this is a 0.1 tip pen. And it writes pretty nicely on gesso, which is why I purchased it. And I have two. I have the 0.1 and the 1.0 for like outlining stuff. And I'm planning to get like a 0.5 at some point, but yeah. And then I doodled some hearts around the wreath, and I'm still thinking what else do I want to add, because the photo part looks a bit plain. So I just pull out some more of those flowers and layer a couple next to the title. So I'm layering a daisy on either side, and I'm also going to put a little bird on the bottom because I had one left, and I'm just too in love with those birds to throw them out. And I think that's about it. I'm just going to glue everything down with that same glue. Oh, actually, I'm using a glue pen for this one. I don't know why. Well, between glue pens and that glue, it's just whatever strikes my fancy at the time. And basically because I wanted to be able to shift these around, I think that's why I use a glue pen. Because it's a two-way glue pen, so it's supposedly, when it's clear, it's permanent, but when it's dry, when it's clear, it's not permanent. When it's blue, it's permanent. I'm not sure. I still don't understand how that works, but I just use that glue pen there. And now I'm thinking if I just want to add anything else. I'm looking at those chipboard pieces and going through more chipboard, and I'm contemplating using that heart, but it was a sort of reddish color, and it just wasn't working. So here, I don't know, what am I holding? Oh, I'm going to add that little flower piece under the journaling, and that's about going to complete the layout, I believe. Yes, I think when you don't see the layout on my desk, is I hold it up to see how it looks. So yeah, and then I decided I'm going to add that little circle somewhere, so I'm going to pull out that flower and layer it behind the flower. And I'm just going to re-glue that down. and I used a glue pen to glue down that rhinestone because the adhesive wasn't working all too well. And the reason I used that glue pen is because that rhinestone is really tiny and the glue pen allowed me to add just the right amount of glue. So on the back of my layout, I always write when I made the layout and when the picture was taken. So some photos are following here, so make sure to check those out. Again, don't forget to stop by all the other lovely ladies videos. I'll leave the description and link below. You can also follow me on Instagram for sneak peeks and layout shares and all that stuff at Grace Islander. The link will be in the description again. So thanks for watching and see you next time.